Hey there, I got a quick question for you. How would you feel if you were involved in a community where 70% are unemployed and 85% of the college kids in that community drop out? 70% of the high school kids in that community don't make it to graduation. I'm a part of that real life community happening right here in the United States. It's the blind community. And those are the crisis level statistics that I found out about years ago. Now, I'm here to tell you that what I have come to learn is those statistics have nothing to do with blindness. My name is Kristin Smedley, and I got introduced to the blind community when I met a blind person for the first time in my life 24 years ago. It was my firstborn son, Michael. He was born with a rare eye disease called CRB1 LCA, and 3 years later, his brother, Mitchell, was born and diagnosed with the exact same condition, CRB1 LCA. Now, I didn't know anything about blindness. I was uneducated. The only story of blindness that I knew was the story that had been handed down through Hollywood and the generations for years and years and years. Sadness, devastation, not much to accomplish, right? That was the story that I knew, and that was the story I believed. It was that lack of education that left me in devastation until my boys and others showed me a whole new story. And that's how I can tell you that those statistics have nothing to do with blindness. It's that old story. So fast forward a few years, and I started the patient organization for CRB1 LCA that is involved in research and education, awareness, and supporting families impacted by this disease. Now, through that work, I actually was involved in the first ever gene therapy to treat a rare eye disease. And as we were headed towards FDA approval, there was a lot of conversation about who's going to pay for a treatment like this, because it's expensive for a rare eye disease to come through FDA approval. And then I got wind of a conversation where somebody said, we'll never pay for a treatment for blindness because blindness doesn't cost us anything. And I was furious. Blindness doesn't cost you anything. What is the cost of 70% of a community that is fully capable to be employed but doesn't have the opportunity, right? What is the cost of that? What is the cost of 85% of this community that is perfectly capable academically, right, to succeed in college, but they're dropping out? What is the cost of all of this? Well, I figured out the cost for my family alone, to educate, the cost to have a person that is thriving with blindness, to just level the playing field, right? Level the playing field with access to the tools and resources for literacy, for workforce options, right? That cost. And then we went and took a look at it on an international level with Retina International. And Retina International did a full-blown study. And in the United States and Canada, the cost of not thriving with blindness, the cost of not giving access to tools, resources, proper literacy, right? That cost $31.7 billion to just the American and Canadian economies alone. Those are the reasons that I just about lost my mind, because here I was meeting all these people that had not only perfect intelligence to handle all this stuff, higher intelligence than a lot of the people that they were in school with, in college with, in the workforce with, right? So I went to my congressman and I said, we need awareness, we need education, we need people to understand the true story of blindness, to get behind leveling the playing field, to get behind the reasonable accommodations in the workforce, the access to literacy with assistive technology and Braille. We need awareness, because awareness is where action can begin. We can't take action in the right direction if there's no awareness and education of what the vision looks like, what the possibilities are, right? So my congressman, in all of his excellence, he has since passed away. He was a good friend of mine, and I miss him all the time because of the work that he did. He helped us get House Resolution 625, or Rare Eye Disease Awareness Day, to the floor of Congress to advocate for leveling the playing field for the blind community, for access to assistive technology, for access to actual literacy, real literacy that is happening in all the schools across America, that children that are blind and low vision get access to that too. And if Braille is a resource to access it, that's the tool they need to access. It also advocates for genetic testing so that people know what it is, the condition is that they have, and how they can manage it or harness the incredible gains that a lot of these rare eye diseases bring to a person, right? It also advocates for research, for treatment options, because look, in my world of running the Curing Retinal Blindness Foundation and Thriving Blind Academy, it is my role to bring options for treatments for vision loss. And I really want it to be a hard decision for people in my blind community to make that choice, because they're so empowered with the tools of blindness, that I want it to be a hard decision. But it's up to each person. Everybody deserves an option for treatments. So that's what Rare Eye Disease Awareness Day is. It's advocacy for action and access to level the playing field. And to be honest, in 2024 now, we're taking this to a new level. We're actually calling on all of the people in the blind and visually impaired community to be out there, taking action themselves, communicating their value to the world so that they can show that once the playing field is leveled, they can actually give schools, organizations, and companies a competitive advantage.